Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through what the Valor Fund is. It's my first episode and just want to say how it came together, what you can expect, and if you decide to follow along. So over the past year, I've spent like hundreds of hours backtesting, researching, and refining a strategy I could actually trust. Not just something that looks good on paper, but something I could stick to with real money through good markets, bad markets, and everything in between. My goal was not to guess, not to gamble, and I just wanted to process something that made sense and more importantly, held up over time. My early experience, well, one of the most honest lessons I learned came from my first big position, which was CleanSpark. I believed in the company and I still do. I built the position over time, adding multiple times actually, averaging down, staying patient. But to be real with you, it was super painful. So, if you see the chart here, I did a couple of buys all the way in 2020. It skyrocketed all the way to like $42, and I was buying around 9 and 10. But I invested very little, and I was like, okay, maybe I should buy some more. It's a good company, and I think at that time everyone was expecting it to go past to like $60 or something. But then, as you can see, it just kept going down and down and down. They also switched from an electrical power play to a Bitcoin mining play, which was a good move. Management was also great, but stock was going down, and all I could do was dollar cost average. And yeah, so it was painful. What this showed me was I was buying the right stock. I mean, good management, good potential. It was before Bitcoin was booming, just at the wrong time. The setup was fully there, but the timing was off. And while I held and kept averaging in, the stock kept grinding lower. I even tried to boost the returns with some option plays, which sucked because I lost money too. It hurt, but whatever. Um, it tested me. There were long stretches where I felt like nothing was working, but I kept showing up, kept tracking, kept tweaking. Eventually, CleanSpark did take off. It more than doubled. I think for me, it more than tripled. And that felt great. Got the 100%, 200%, and then I sold most of my investment around like $9. It looks interesting right now, coming back up. But what it showed me was, you know, even though the return was great, it made something really clear to me. It's not enough to just find good stocks. You also need to have a reliable way to time your entries, manage your risk, and I definitely did not manage my risk well here. I put, I think, almost 60% of my portfolio, and stay out of the dead zones. And so this is basically how the Valor Fund system or the strategy or even the code that I wrote in Python started. It's I was like getting serious about building real structure around my investing. I started coding, testing, and documenting everything, position by position, rule by rule, and that work became the backbone of what is now the Valor Fund. It's not just a list of tickers, it's an actual strategy, full framework with entry signals, exit signals, watchlist filters, and performance tracking. So, I'll just show you a live demo of CleanSmart or just backtesting, and also maybe showing you if there's new opportunities and compared to, this mess that I did over here. So, I just have a CSV. It's reading the CSV for what the ticker is, and then we'll just run this. And so what it does is it generates three reports. One is the combined signals report, which is just the whole raw data, entry signals, exit points, performance metrics, um, you know, weak buy signals, strong buy signals, all in one place. And so you can just use that report and dig however you like. The second report is the backtest report, and that's the one that I look at most because it just filters out for the strong buy signals after a big pullback, and it's looking at if there's a push in momentum, if there's a change in direction. And so those are the signals I really like. And the last one is the weekly report. So, if you're a paid subscriber, you'll be able to see these weekly reports. And if there's a signal, like, this week it looks like there's a signal on CleanSpark, then you can see those signals. So with those in hand, I can go to the chart and actually map out where the system would have entered CleanSpark versus what I did manually before the code existed. And honestly, it's eye-opening. So, let's just pull up the backtest report, and then I can show you what it's basically doing. So yeah, so we have a signal type of watch. So this is when you're just watching the stock, you're waiting for a buy. And the way how my system works is the first buy that comes off the watch, what you're expecting is, a big pullback, and then you see a change in momentum or direction or even liquidation, or volume spikes. We treat that as a strong buy. And so 9th Jan 2023, this is what it's saying was a strong buy. You would have put a stop buy because we're basically expecting the price to go higher. So we put a stop buy, and that's our stop loss. So, if I take that 2.81, 1.74, 9 Jan 2023, and I put it to the chart, if I can get my chart. Yeah. So we got 9 Jan 2023. So it's looking more like here. So yeah, and then you have a high of 2.81. So that's the high of 2.81. And so I would basically tell all my subscribers, hey guys, we got to put the buy over there, 2.81. Your stop loss is basically just the swing low. So that's that 1.74 you're looking at. So that's part of that 1.74 here, 2.81. And what the system does is basically, every week it'll wake up, scan the stock or whatever list that we have, and if it's gone above, then we've confirmed that it's a strong buy. So in this case, the price goes up, so we get a fulfilled buy. It doesn't hit our stop loss, and then from there on, it just shoots up all the way to whatever level this is. So if I look at it, so let's say we take it over here, that's almost a 656% return just by following that signal, which is kind of crazy. And so now obviously, not every stock is gonna shoot to the moon like this, or not, the strategy is not gonna be like perfect all the time. So I basically even broke down every time it crosses, a 10, so 20, 30, 40, and then 100, 200, 300. The reason I did this is it's up to you to decide where you want to sell. So, one of the strategies I use is at 30%, we sell 25% of the position. At 60, sorry, at 30, we sell 50% of the position. At 60, we sell another 25, and then we're just leaving the remaining 25 to run. And so, that 25% of that position would have gone all the way up for 700%, which is pretty amazing. So if we look at the combined signals report, just the one that has the raw data, this is all the data that every buy and sell signal. And so, you have your normal buys, and you have also a couple of stop losses, I believe, early on. Yeah. So this is where also, risk management comes into play, because I'm not going to be putting 60% of my portfolio like before. I'll be putting maybe 3 to 5 or 5 to 10, whatever your risk tolerance is, on the position. And that way, if it does go bad, I'm only losing 3 to 5% is what I usually do now of my portfolio at that stop loss. Which is fine because, overall what you're expecting is, we won't be only investing in CleanSpark. We would be doing it over multiple different stocks. And even if you have a selection, that would be pretty cool. But you're hoping that out of these, like, let's say 20, 30 stocks, that majority of them would work in your favor, with the code helping you to push the odds in your favor. And so the way how I'll just do a quick explanation of how the report works. You have a trade ID which connects your buy to your sell. So if you want to see what happened in trade one, that is basically what happened. So you would have bought the stock at $11. You would have taken profit at 13. You would have got a return of 22. And so like that, you can just go over the different trades to find the exact match. Um, so that's for the reports, and then I can show you the final report, which is the weekly report. And so yeah, the weekly report, it's saying that this week we would have had a sell at $13, would have made around 36%. And then it's also saying we have a week buy. It's unconfirmed because we haven't yet gone above the 1351. But yeah, it's up to you whether you would want to take this or not. I usually just try to focus on the strong buys. So, like I said, no system is perfect. We've hit stop losses, we've had trades that didn't work out, and I'm not here to pretend this is some magic formula that'll make you millions. Um, you still have to do your own research and due diligence, as always. But what I can say is that with proper risk management and a strategy built on data instead of emotion, um, the odds start to shift in your favor. And it's not being right every time, it's about having a repeatable process you can trust over time. So, the same system that I just showed you for CleanSpark, it's also it caught some major moves. The most recent one was AMPX. I'm not sure if anyone even heard about this stock right now because no one's talking about it. But we flagged that in 2024, after a certain watch. Again, see, you have that pullback, got a nice strong buy, and we were buying at $1.23, sold 25%, sorry, 50% at the 30% mark, and then another 25% at the 60%. But overall, that's a 423% run up, which is pretty amazing. We've also done some smaller ones like EU. I think some people heard about this guy, but that was a 70% run. PCT is another one. We did almost, it's 95% as of now. Um, so basically, that's what I built, and now I'm sharing the journey publicly. So if you like what you're seeing and you want full access to the signals, performance data, and strategy insights, you can join through the subscription plan on the site, which is, I'll put the link below, but it's the valorfund.world. Go check out plans and pricing. That's the different plans. It's pretty clear, built for people who want to take investing to a next level. And my goal is to post something every week, in terms of a weekly signal or successes, or yeah, I don't know. If you guys can think of something for me to post, then that would be great. And I think one of the hardest parts is actually finding the freaking stock that'll actually go to the moon. So submissions of a stock would be amazing, and might help everyone in the community. Um, Obviously, try to join for one of the subscriptions because I can just be running everyone's submission. So if you want something specific for you, you can buy this for like a $40 thing and get a report for that. So everything I do is based on the system. I use my own capital. It's fully transparent. I'll try to show all my portfolio allocations, the signal reports if you join for the subscription. If that sounds like something you'd be into, again, visit the site, subscribe. Um, I'll be sharing weekly updates, setups, and everything I'm seeing in the market. Um, Also, I'm not here to share only. I want to learn too. So if you got experience, insight, or ideas of your own, things that you find that are that could be interesting, then I'd love to hear them. The goal is to grow together as a community of smart, serious investors. Um, yeah, and I am also on Blossom Social, so I posted quite a bunch over there. Um, yeah, BTBT, AMPX. So yeah, the app's free. Come and check it out. It's basically a social network of investors, which is kind of nice. I get a lot of views, but no engagement. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But if you guys can join and show me some love over there, that'd be cool. So yeah, thank you for listening and see you next week.